What's up guys, today we're going to review the Haoqi Leopard Pro. It's a fat tire electric bike with a 20 amp hour battery pack. The big battery pack, the price is not so big. Check the link below for that and my discount coupon. But before you do that, let's crack it open, see if it's any good. Another day, another bike. The first thing we see is the pizza box. Now I'm hungry. 2 boxes.
That is orange. You are safe on this.
Here's the 2 boxes. Charger. Surprisingly, it is the 3 amp charger, which is great because it's a big battery, 20 divided by 3, so it'd still take about 6.5 hours to charge from empty. Manual axle. Apparently this is the upgraded display. We'll check it out here soon. These are some other color options available. Here's the bike. Okay, let's check this battery out. The big boy. So for the price of this bike, it comes with a big battery. A lot of times you gotta pay more for a battery this big. 48 volt, 20 amp hour, 960 watt hours. Should make for some great range. All right, got that on the charger. Dude, look at the size. What is this box back here? So this fluorescent orange will definitely help you be seen on the road, but you don't have to get this color. There's one other color option. And then they have the step through version as well. So kind of 4 total colors, I think. You can see all the colors in the link below the video in the description. The battery is semi-integrated into the frame, but it's so big it kind of sticks out a little bit. And I'm pretty sure this is the controller box here. So externally mounted controller in a housing. And on the back, we get a Haoqi branded 750 watt geared hub motor. We'll see how this thing performs in a bit. Comes with a rear rack installed and a light on the back. Wonder if it's a brake light. Plastic fenders. Show me the brakes. Those are hydraulic disc brakes. Size rotors. Why don't it say? Let's check the front one. Not listed. These are 160 millimeter rotors. What we do know for sure is these are 26 inch tall wheels and 4 inch wide knobby tread pattern. You're supposed to run them at 30 PSI, max 30 PSI. We'll run them on 18 today. They come 11 out of the box. Check it out, we got some comfort features on this bike. It's got an adjustable stem. Gotta show you something on this. See that bolt down here on bottom? Definitely make sure that thing's tightened down. Recently reviewed a bike where it kind of moved on me. It's because I didn't know about that bolt down there. My bad. Other comfort feature. So the bike is front suspension. We'll look at that in a moment. No rear suspension, which keeps the bike lighter, if you can call this thing light. But there is a little bit of cushion here with this spring on the seat post. Pretty typical width seat. I'll tell you how it feels when we ride it. Aluminum frame on this bike, making the bike weigh 72 pounds. Turn it around. Oh no, it's hard to turn. There we go. Somebody send me a new drill. Let's check out the handlebars. Get a twist throttle on the right. Brake levers have a nice little hook. 7-speed Shimano shifter. Have a little bit of a rise to them and round hand grips. We'll put the display on in just a minute. Front wheel comes with a quick release lever on the axle. Lock that in place. Dude, what in the world? This is crazy. The battery is not plugged into this bike. I just grabbed the brake lever. Look at this, it's lighting up. There's a brake light on this bike with no battery. How is this possible? There's gotta be a battery somewhere. There might be electronics in this thing. Battery's right there. My mind is blowing right now. Okay, brake light works. I wonder if this horn button works. Dude, there has to be a battery in that box. Headlight looks kind of cool. So check it out, after you loosen up that screw, the handlebars can be adjusted. Just don't forget to tighten that one down on bottom. With all these other electronics working with no battery, wonder if this will turn on with no battery too. No. Battery's charged. All right, let's take a look. Turn it on. Turns right on. Color display. Nice. For a bike of this price, I'm surprised. See what we get here. On the side, you can turn on and off the light. Dims the display when you press it. And it turns on the light on the back, obviously. Now the horn's way louder when you have the battery actually on. This top button here gives you max speed, average speed, trip odometer. Batteries up here in terms of bars. Pedal assist, go from 0 up to 5 default. Battery does have a USB charging port here. And the front suspension, it's got a basic open and lock mechanism. We get 7 gears on the Shimano gear set and a pretty typical tourney derailleur. Not sure how the menus work. I'll check the settings and see if we could increase top speed or anything. So now that we know what the bike looks like, let's get a quick feel for how powerful this bike's gonna be. All right. That thing spins up. This motor is no joke. The Haoqi. About to do the hokey pokey out here. Ready? Wow. Check it out, there is no load on the motor, but if I just twist the throttle wheel off the ground, woo, 39, pinned at 39. Oh, whoa, look at these effects, that's pretty cool. It shows like the road, like how fast you're going. 20 miles an hour is slow on here apparently. It looks like I'm putting along. Crank it up! Hyperdrive. Okay, now I'm really wondering, how powerful is that controller? Let's go find out. All right guys, let's get the Haoqi Leopard Pro out for a test drive. Pretty excited for this one. Whoa! That's not good. Of course, we'll start the Strava to see what kind of distance we get out of this big battery. The very first test we're gonna do is the 20% hill grade, although the manual says only do 15% hill grade. LSS 5, ready to go, full throttle. From a stop, what kind of torque does the Haoqi Leopard Pro have? Excellent, really. I mean, it's climbing right up this thing. It says 90 Newton meters of torque and strong hill climber. One more crack at it with a bit of a rollout, full throttle here, give it a little pedaling and whoop, duck under that a little bit. Yep. So it's a strong hill climber, and I can tell already this is like a powerful bike. Even though it's got a huge 20 amp hour battery pack, probably what I'm gonna end up doing today is riding this thing more like a motorcycle than a bicycle. Past few days I've been doing some weaker power bikes where I had to pedal a lot. I don't really feel like pedaling much today. So let's feel it out a little bit here. First thing I'm noticing about this bike is the seat suspension post. So technically this is a hardtail bike. You know, it's only got the front fork suspension, which is pretty typical on these bikes. These fat tire cruisers with a big battery like this weigh in, you know, mid 75 pounds. If you do decide to go full suspension, that adds quite a bit more weight to the bike. Now I have reviewed full suspension fat tire e-bikes, and the last one I reviewed, it weighed 92 pounds, I think, whereas this bike is 72 pounds. So even though technically this is not a full suspension bike, I can tell that seat post is bouncy, man. It's gonna really insulate. It's gonna make this ride a little more cushy than a typical fat tire e-bike. Next observation on this bike is I noticed the throttle would take me all the way up to 38 miles per hour in my apartment when there's no load on the motor. We're about to find out how fast it can go, and then we'll test out the pedal assist modes when we get to the beach. I am noticing this screen is not the brightest screen. GPS is showing 17. This is reading 16. GPS is showing 18, that's showing 16. So speedometer might actually be reading a little bit low on there, which usually it's the opposite way. Let's take it out on the street here, see what kind of speed we can get. Shifted some gears, crank it on up to pedal assist 5, go full throttle, showing 26, 27, 28. So it's holding about 25 according to there. Oh, it's got cruise control, merging into traffic here. So I can tell, like riding on these streets, it definitely feels a little smoother having full suspension, or not full suspension, but the seat post. See if we can keep up with the motorcycle. Not quite. We can catch the Birdman though. So I'll go ahead and do an acceleration test here. I weigh 200 pounds, 0 to top speed acceleration. Ready, go. 10, I gave it a little blip so it doesn't cruise control. And 19, 20, 21, 22. So taking a look at the pedal assist modes, pedal assist 1 gives you a very gentle amount of power. Brings me up to about 5 or 6 miles an hour. Bumping on to 2 here. Feel an immediate boost, like a huge increase from 1 to 2 on the stock settings. Brings us up to 15. One more tap. Pretty strong boost again, bringing us up to about 21, 22. And my legs are turning decently quick. It's 7 gears on the Shimano shifter. And past this 4, pretty strong boost again, 26. Let's just throw it on 5 to go up this hill. He'll slow it down to 23. All right, we better slow it down. Seat post helps on even that little dip there. I felt the suspension post kind of helped me a little, taking some of the pressure off of your back that would otherwise take that. Saturday at the beach, Memorial Day weekend. It might be a little bit wild out here today. So pedal assist 5, let's put some pedaling effort in here a little bit. 21, 23, going into headwind right now. 24. I am noticing the stock settings, there's a little bit of a lag on the cadence sensor, so let's check that out. Not pedaling, pedaling, power. So there's like a solid 1.5 to 2 seconds, and it gives you that power when it starts giving you it too. So not pedaling. Power. Ramps up pretty quickly. And we are launching. So on pedal assist 5, let's go ahead and attack the sand uphill section. Oh, downshift. Not quite, man, I lost it. My own fault, probably. We'll take it out there in a little bit on some flat sand. Now, typically riding here is pretty harsh. The seat post makes a pretty big difference, honestly. That spring, another wild day out here in Venice. So as I'm cruising around here, it is nice that you get different levels of power assist, pedal assist. It gives you like different power levels, so you don't get like too much power all at once from the throttle only. But you can crank it up to 5 and get all the power. It's not the most nimble kind of bike for this kind of riding, but it works. Dude, this is like the most amount of bikes I feel like I've ever seen in one place by the beach. Oh, these kids are talented. Let's see if we can run up this hill a bit here. Throttle only. Whoa. Try this one. Throttle only, all the way to the top. Look at this. Bar spin. Let's crank this thing up to pedal assist 5. See how it does in the sand. Throttle only. It's cutting its way right through the sand, all right. I wouldn't say it's like ripping through, but it's doing it just fine. And it's 26-inch wheels. So the 26-inch wheels tend to ride better than shorter wheels. I feel like more stable. I'm running at 20 PSI. So it'd do a little better if they were dropped down to like 12 PSI. Just holding it wide open throttle here. It's bringing us through, and the seat post is really coming in handy here, absorbing a lot of the shock. I'm gonna give it a little bit of help. Pedal here, just a little bit. Getting on the wet sand just a bit here. Hit my knee on the battery. So the battery does stick off a little bit to the left there. It's not like perfectly centered on the frame. Powering on through. Oh, so if you look down, you can see the battery does actually stick off a little bit, only on the left side, not on the right side, off the frame. Interesting how that big battery's mounted. Oh, let's continue on the route here. Let's get in the draft. This thing's got speed too. It's a fun bike, dude. It's not like the highest torque bike, but it seems like it's happy cruising pretty fast. I really got to get that cruise control turned off though. Well, it just completely turned off on me. I don't know what the deal is here. And back off. I might have overheated the controller riding out there in the sand, pushing it pretty hard for a while.
What?
Wow, pedaling this thing with no battery power is a task. Let's just roll on pedal assist 1 here for a little bit. Oh, we're back in business. Dude, this chick just fell, man. I gotta stay away from this. Turning off the bike path, let's try this hill out. Pedal assist 5, throttle only. See how it does under throttle only. 9 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. It'll pull us up this hill under throttle only, as a 750 watt motor should. Getting crazy out here, man. Leaping off this mountain. So I'd have to say, if you're looking for something that can do like extreme hill climbing and like riding through the sand under extreme circumstances, you might want to look for a bike that the controller's not going to go into protective mode, because this one, if you push it hard for a long time, the controller will go into protective mode and save itself from overheating and burning up. All right, dudes, let's see if the Haoqi Leopard Pro can climb the California Incline. All right, here goes nothing. Crank it up to pedal assist 3, throttle only on the loop-de-loop. Let's bump it up a couple more pedal assists all the way to max. Hey, it's bringing us up. Very nice. Throttle only, going strong. Now for the main portion of the California Incline, throttle only already at 9 miles an hour. 10, 13, wide open throttle. Make sure that cruise control is not on. 15, 16, 17. Brings us up about 17. Pretty solid. And the controller did not turn off on us, which is great. Smooth on the boardwalk. And we were just down there. So that was a 12% grade and 85 feet of elevation climb. What can it do on a downhill? Woo, probably not a good day to try. Let's get a little bit of a tailwind, see what this thing can do. Cruise control, 25, 26. Brake test from 20. 160 millimeter rotors on hydraulic brakes. They actually work. decently well. They'd be better if they were 180s, but they're fine. Already out here today, man. Quick little brake test front 20. They could be better. Dude, this guy has a freaking jet ski scooter. Nice. All right, dudes, final thoughts on the Haoqi Leopard Pro. And then we're gonna floor it all the way home and see if it can handle it. In general, I think that this is a decent bike with a big battery pack. So if you're looking for long range and you're not really trying to push it to its limits, you know, riding in super harsh conditions like out in the sand and going up like a super steep hill for a long time, I actually think that this is a decent value bike considering that massive battery and its ability to do short bursts of like steep hill climbs under throttle only while it's on sale though, which you can see the current price linked below this video in the description box. They also gave me an extra coupon code down there to give you a little extra discount. Based on my experience today riding out in the sand, if you're looking for something with extreme performance abilities, you might want to look for a different bike. I think the hydraulic disc brakes are certainly good enough for street use, daily use, cruising use. Just based on my experience, you know, 180 millimeter rotors do perform a little better. These ones are fine, they're just not like extreme performance. Anyway, let's head home, push this thing to the limits on the street, see how it holds up. Right now we have 4 out of 5 bars, so it doesn't give us like a battery voltage or a battery percentage, unfortunately. But a 20 amp hour 48 volt battery is a really big battery that you should be able to get pretty significant range out of. I think that this bike is good for flatland cruising like this, high speed comfort, and a lot of range. Just don't go out in the sand, you'll be good. You can probably get away with a little bit of off-roading on this bike. That suspension seat post really makes a really big difference for a little bit of off-roading. If you guys are looking for a bike tire, it's hard to find a 20 amp hour battery pack at this price point in a fat tire cruiser. This bike does cut a few corners here and there, but it is hydraulic disc brakes, not mechanical disc brakes. I've been thinking about it. If I had to choose 180 millimeter rotors on mechanical disc brakes versus 160 millimeter rotors on hydraulic disc brakes, I think I'd choose the latter. Hydraulic 160 rotors. They just feel smoother, even though they don't have quite as much stopping force. But really, I don't think, you know, like day-to-day riding, you're not gonna notice that. These are plenty good. You can do a little bit of off-roading in the sand though, no question about it. Just don't go out there and push it to the max for several minutes. Using that battery. Just wanna see how this battery can hold up on flat ground, wide open throttle, how long it'll run it. 26, top speed hitting 27, 27. Cruise control's nice, man. I'm just cruising at 22 basically. There's a little cruise light indicator on there. Even putting in a little bit of pedaling for a bit here. Oh, I'm gonna miss the light. A little moisture in the brake pads. It's humid out here. Oh, there's salt water in the air getting in the brakes. Taking the streets home today. This thing loves high speed on flat ground. Woo. Gonna merge on over in the turn lane here. Running still 24, 25. All right, dudes, after 18.2 miles an hour and 40 minutes of ride time, average speed 11 miles per hour. Display is simply showing 4 out of 5 bars after resting, but it was just showing 2 bars, so it doesn't really give you like a very accurate estimate of where you are on range. There is no voltage readout for me to give you anything more accurate, no percentage bar, but it is 20 amp hours. For a battery of this size, I could probably do about 40 miles under throttle only, running it decently hard. If you pedal it some, obviously you could do way more, probably like 50, maybe even 60 miles. Really just depends. So that's my review on this bike. If you want to grab one, link is in the description box. However, if this is not your cup of tea, you can watch this video next. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a comment. Catch you next time.